All right, we did it, everybody. We're in the last scene of Romeo and Juliet, and I will be splitting this into two videos because it's kind of on the longer side. But like I mentioned in the previous video, we have Romeo on his way to Juliet's tomb. He is planning to commit suicide. We have Friar Lawrence on his way to Juliet's tomb because he's trying to help her escape from the tomb when she wakes up. But the play begins with Paris at Juliet's tomb. Paris is very sad and upset. He's putting flowers on the tomb because he was supposed to marry Juliet. So he's very sad and crying about that. All right. So we're going to see Paris there, and then we're actually going to see Romeo show up while Paris is there still. Let's take a listen.
Give me thy torch, boy, hence and stand aloof. Yet put it out, for I would not be seen. Under yon yew trees lay thee all along, holding thy ear close to the hollow ground. So shall no foot upon the churchyard tread, being loose, unfirm with digging up of graves, but thou shalt hear it. Whistle then to me, as signal that thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I bid thee, go.
I am almost afraid to stand alone here in the churchyard, yet I will adventure.
Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh, woe, thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I will do. Or, wanting that, with tears distilled by moans, the obsequies that I for thee will keep nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. The boy gives warning, something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight, to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What, with a torch? Muffle me, night, awhile.
So right now we have Paris's page or servant and Paris both kind of hiding in the woods near the tomb to see who's coming there to the tomb. So Paris is going to see Romeo, a Montague, at a Capulet tomb, and Paris is going to see Romeo trying to break into the tomb. So we're going to see Paris will not be happy that Romeo is trying to break into this tomb. Let's take a listen.
Give me that mattock and the wrenching iron. Hold, take this letter. Early in the morning, see thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me the light. Upon thy life I charge thee. Whate'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring, a ring that I must use in dear employment.
So Romeo's giving the excuse that he wants to look at Juliet's face and take a ring from her finger, when in reality we know he wants to see Juliet and sadly kill himself. Let's keep listening.
Therefore hence, be gone. But if thou, jealous, dost return to pride what I further shall intend to do, by heaven, I would tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable far than empty tigers or the roaring sea.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble ye.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that, live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow.
For all this same I'll hide me hereabout. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt.
So Balthazar, Romeo's servant, was told by Romeo, get out of here, here's some money, see you later, don't bother me. And Balthazar says, I think I'm just going to hide out. I don't like the way he looks. I don't think he intends anything good. So I'm just going to stay here and watch just in case.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth, thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food. This is that banished haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin, with which grief it is supposed the fair creature died. And here is come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
So we see Paris, okay? Paris, who is engaged to marry Juliet. He's good friends with the Capulets. He sees Romeo Montague break into the tomb. Romeo, who murdered Tybalt, okay? And they think Juliet died of grief over Tybalt. So Paris actually thinks that Romeo is in there to, I don't know, do something bad to the bodies, mutilate them or something. And Paris says, nope, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to confront him. I'll apprehend him. You need to go. You need to die. Now, Romeo, he doesn't want to hear this. Let's take a listen.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone. Let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Oh, begone. By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter say a madman's mercy bid thee run away. I do defy thy conjuration, and apprehend thee for a felon here. Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
O Lord, they fight. I will go call the watch.
Oh, I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb, lay me with Juliet.
Okay, so in the woods, we've got Paris's page. He witnesses them fighting and he runs away to call the watch, to call the police, to call the authorities. Don't forget, we also have Balthazar out in the woods. It seems like he did not witness this fight, but we've got a couple people out in the woods and the page is going to get the authorities. So we've got Friar Lawrence on his way and we will soon have the authorities on their way. Meanwhile, Paris is killed by Romeo. So Romeo has killed both Tybalt and Paris, both of whom are connected to his wife, Juliet. But Paris, it's sad but sweet. He says, open the tomb, lay me with Juliet. All right. So his last wish is to lay next to Juliet. So when we're going to see in the tomb, we'll have Juliet, Paris, and Tybalt most recently. All right. Romeo, let's listen to what you have to say.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble County Paris. What said my man when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad hearing him talk of Juliet to think it was so? Oh, give me thy hand, one writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave. Oh no, a lantern, slaughtered youth. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there, by a dead man interred. How oft, when men are at the point of death, have they been merry which their keepers call a lightning before death? Oh, how may I call this a lightning? Oh, my love, my wife, death, that hath sucked the honey of thy breath, hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there.
So we see Romeo, he brings Paris into the tomb, lays Paris next to Juliet, probably on the floor or something, okay? And then he sees Juliet, calls her my love, my wife. Death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. So even though she's dead, air quotes, she still looks beautiful, okay? Her lips are crimson. Her cheeks are crimson. So she's got red in her lips and red in her cheeks. She is not pale like a dead body should look. So these are all clues that Juliet is still alive. Romeo doesn't know it. Romeo doesn't see it. Okay. So we're going to see Romeo next. He turns and he sees dead Tybalt there. So Romeo's killed two people and his dead wife supposedly is laying there. He is not in a good place physically, emotionally, or mentally right now. Let's take a listen.
Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Oh, what more favour can I do to thee, than with that hand that cut thy youth in twain, to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Ah, dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this pallet of dim night depart again. Here will I remain with worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, O you, the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide, thou desperate pilot, now at once run on the dashing rocks thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love. O true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus with a kiss I die.
So Romeo has taken the poison and he dies immediately because again, this poison could kill 20 people at all at once, all right? So we've got Juliet. She is about to wake up, and when she wakes up, she is going to see her dead cousin, Tybalt. She's going to see her dead fiancé, Paris, and her dead husband, Romeo, besides all her other relatives who've died over the years surrounding her. So again, like Romeo, she is in a bad place physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's not good. Meanwhile, Friar Lawrence is going to show up at the tomb, and he's going to find out from Balthazar that there's been something violent happening. Let's take a listen.
Saint Francis be my speed. How oft tonight have my old feet stumbled at graves. Who's there?
Here's one, a friend, and one that knows you well.
Bliss be upon you. Tell me, good my friend, what torch is yon that vainly lends his light to grubs and eyeless skulls? As I discern, it burneth in the Capel's monument.
It doth so, holy sir, and there's my master, one that you love.
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long hath he been there?
Full half an hour.
Go with me to the vault.
I dare not, sir. My master knows not but I am gone hence, and fearfully did menace me with death, if I did stay to look on his intents.
Stay then, I'll go alone. Fear comes upon me. Oh, much I fear some ill, unlucky thing.
As I did sleep under this yew tree here, I dreamt my master and another fought, and that my master slew him.
So Balthazar thought he had a dream where Romeo fought with someone else and Romeo killed someone. That did actually happen, but Romeo's now in the tomb and he is dead. All right, what I think I'll do is I'm going to stop here and I will continue the rest of this in the next recording. Thank you for listening, and we will finish Act 5 in the next recording.